Ooh, good
Oh,
morning.
not just between me and you. It's just
Good morning, friends. How y'all doing today? Got some fan mail over here I didn't even know about. Come in here, Cousin Charlie. Have a seat. This morning I don't have Sparkle.
Uh-oh.
Cousin Charlie, I've noticed you're going without your contacts once again. Once again, you are without your contacts. Without your glasses. You are without your glasses.
It's because I am getting up and either running or going to the gym in the mornings.
Oh. Hey, Roy Frazier, how are you doing? Hey, every morning we are starting a little show called The Morning Grind with GTT. And really what it's going to be like, it's like a little morning talk show. It ain't going to be much to it. It's just going to be fun. We're going to try to make you laugh. We're going to, hey, I didn't know you were going to be here this morning. Kathleen's in here, kids. We got Sparkle. Where is everybody? And there ain't nobody getting on here. I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about something. I'm glad you're here, Kathleen. Will Cousin Charlie be on the video? Well, there's Cousin Charlie. Cousin Charlie. Okay, I'm going to get right to it. What the point of this show is, I just want to get on here and be a goofy guy and have fun in the morning. Because I'm a morning person. I need this energy. I need to be goofy. I need to be fun. Last night, I finally made Brittany Renee watch this show called Urban Cowboy. Has anybody on here ever watched Urban Cowboy?
No, I haven't.
You've never watched Urban Cowboy?
I don't think so.
Swifty? Cousin Charlie? What is that? Oh, is that to you or me?
This one's to me.
Oh, I thought you were reading my mail, Cousin Charlie. Damn, I'm about to...
Are you on the show? To give them some viewers.
So go ahead and get on the show. So, Urban Cowboy is a show that was filmed in 1980. John Travolta, Deborah Winger, Scott Glenn, there's a lot of actors that went on to stardom. And it's set in Texas. And, hey, Mickey, how you've seen it. So I'm going to reflect back on what life was like in the 80s. Okay? And then I'm going to get to a point, so just bear with all my bullshit, okay? Just hang in here with me. So in the 1980s, this show was about Bud Davis, a cowboy rider, and his girlfriend or his wife was Sissy. Bud and Sissy. Two little redneck couple. I mean, they're just little redneck people. But he wanted to become like a rodeo guy. But during this time, think back how the life was. Brittany didn't really understand the show. It wasn't great to her. But I'm reflecting back on what life was like in the 1980s. You may not remember it. Anybody on here that's not over 40 years old, you probably don't know what it used to be like. So let me tell you what life used to be like. Think about this. You would go out, you would get a job after high school. Most people didn't go to college. Your family wanted you to go get a steady job, right? Work there forever. Work there for 40 years and they'll take care of you. They'll retire. They'll put you into retirement. Get married, get a family, stay committed to the family. That's what it was like back in these days. So let's fast forward to what it's like currently. We are a much more mobile society. As a matter of fact, what I mean by that, I see a day coming where I think you can interview for jobs all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Is that not already here?
Well, I mean, whenever you're looking for a job, you're probably limiting your job today to Murfreesboro, Nashville, Middle Tennessee. One day, you're gonna be able to work from where you are for just about any job. Because I can hit a button and I can be in the boardroom with you.
Yeah.
We're right here. Lisa wants to join my pod, or I don't know how you can do that, Lisa. I don't know how you bring her in there, but
Cool.
she's asking to add. I don't know how to do that, Lisa. So maybe you can come in here and talk to us about this. So today's world is completely different than it was in 1980. People are either not getting married or they're pushing it out. There's more people staying at home. People are more motivated by autonomy to be able to do what they want when they want. That's also mobility. So here's my point. What you know today may become obsolete in 5 to 10 years. So what you've got to do is you've got to constantly acquire new knowledge. Or one day everything you know is going to be different. What your parents know, what my parents know, they don't know what I know today. Hey, no offense, Mama. But what I'm saying is, to stay relevant, to stay understanding with the times. You ever heard people say they do not adopt with the times?
But the computer was not there.
Well, I think I've read something that says this. 20% of what you know in 5 years will be wrong. Do you agree with that, Swifty? Maybe.
Yeah.
Kinda. Are you just saying that to make me feel good? So here's what you got to do. You've got to stay up to date on information. Or one day you're just going to be a dumbass and you don't know anything.
That's true.
Think about how the world has changed. Think about how it has evolved. Cousin Charlie, just think, how long, think about this. Facebook Live has only been around about 2 years. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
How long do you think it's been around? Since the 70s?
I didn't think it had been around 2 years.
It's been around about 2 years. What we used to have to do is record videos, edit it, and then push it out. Now, you've got Facebook Live. TV is becoming radio. That is going to be the radio. The phone is the new TV. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you stop learning, you actually become stupid. You become ignorant. I'm serious. Old confidence turns into new ignorance. Things I used to really, really know I'm confident about, as time progresses, it becomes ignorant now. So all these thoughts came to me last night while I was watching Urban Cowboy about how Bud Davis, you should hear how he talked to Sissy. You should hear how he talked to his wife or his other girlfriend that he got in there. Men treated women so much different then. Is it different or differently?
Different.
They treated like they were so rude. They were so demanding. He would talk to her and say, I want to come home to a clean house, a plate of food, and good loving. That's what he said to her. Think about that. A woman, would you take that if Dave said,
no.
What would you say? Think about how far women have come.
Right. But yeah, no, that was the...
So Bud, well, cheer up a little, Tommy, a little differently. I am cheer. I'm always in a good mood. Michelle, I bet you remember those. I bet you remember Urban Cowboy, how Bud Davis talked to Sissy. Michelle, have you ever seen Urban Cowboy? So Bud would be so demanding in his tone, in his delivery, what he would ask from Sissy. Now, Sissy, she was kind of on that cutting edge of not taking any of his BS. You know, she'd talk back to him. And back then, I feel like as long as you didn't hit a woman, that the society allowed that to happen. Now it's kind of shifted. You know, you hear so many things today about sexual allegation. I can't believe these guys are dumb enough to do what they're doing. Can you believe that? I mean, these people are doing things that are so stupid. They're like some guys got suspended off NFL Network.
And the Chef Mario.
Yeah, he's in trouble. I mean, they've got to be able to think a little bit. I mean, that is just, you should know better. Carrie Ann Sear, good morning, buddy.
So, boys.
Carrie Ann, have you ever seen the movie Urban Cowboy? Carrie Ann Sear, have you seen Urban Cowboy? It's about a show, is a movie in 1980 in Texas where John Travolta wanted to be a cowboy. And what I'm talking about is how much the world has changed since 1980. What is it, 2007? About to be 2018. Was that 38 years? That's a long time. Seems like to me it was just yesterday.
That's my lifetime.
Mine too.
Think about what I'm trying to do is bring an awareness to you on here that the world is going to keep changing right in front of you. And what you know today, it will not matter. It won't matter in 5 years. The world's actually changing a lot faster than it used to. What is it?
Behind like you.
They do. Well, I called Walter and he ain't called me back yet. Hey, they still like me. Carrie Ann, you need to watch it.
Do your show.
But does anybody have anything? Am I the only one talking this morning? Does anybody have anything they want to talk?
So where are you going with the show, or why are you watching this?
This show, this is just like a little talk show in the morning.
No, I mean your Urban Cowboy.
What I'm going with is how far the world has come.
Okay.
Brittany Renee was sitting there and she didn't understand what they were doing, what they were saying, why she didn't get that. I made her watch this not knowing it would be like that. So I thought she would find it more funny, but she's 32 years old. I'm 65 years old.
Right.
close enough to it. She didn't relate to what was going on. She didn't see it, but I think her mom saw it.
Right.
I saw it. What I'm getting at is how the world evolves. And if you do not keep educating yourself on things, one day you won't know near as much as you know currently. I'm saying what you know today, in 5 years, 20% of that information will not be accurate anymore. Something's going to come in and it's going to change. It's going to disrupt what you knew. So if you want to stay on the cutting edge, if you want to remain relevant, I think is the term, you've got to force yourself to continue to learn, to grow. And it's called self-educate is the term I'm going to call that. Yeah, I just coined that. Hey, Brad Elam. Brad Elam, did you watch the movie Urban Cowboy? I guarantee you Brad Elam did, and Brad Elam wanted to be Bud Davis. I guarantee you, Brad Elam, you wanted to be Bud Davis. Am I right or wrong, Brad? Can you hear me? Did you want to be Bud Davis?
Maybe David's staying.
David, I don't. David, did you? I forgot where David's from, but I don't know if David watched Urban Cowboy or not. And what I'm talking about this morning, kids, is the way the world was in 1980 compared to where it is today. What people knew in 1980 is no longer. It ain't factual. It ain't information that they know to be right. The only way you can combat that and overcome it is to keep reinventing what you know. Cousin Charlie, what do you say? Let's bring on this guy. Cousin Charlie has stopped wearing his glasses, and now he's wanting to wear his contacts every day to be like me. Cousin Charlie, what do you have to say?
Well,
what do you have to say?
Viewers grow because Cousin
Charlie's on here. Viewers going through the roof.
I think you've got to always be adapting to the change. But you've got to stay true to who you are. You can't become somebody else.
You're trying to become me right in front of my very eyes. I've seen the video that was out where you were trying to become me. Hey, David Estes. How are you doing, friend? No, I believe you are who you've got these core values. You've got things inside of you. You're not going to change that. I'm not saying that, but you've got to continue to grow your knowledge base.
Yep.
You've got to continue to make your mind grow. You've got to become a more intelligent person, because I believe in 5 years, 20% of what you know today will be wrong. That's a belief of mine. Think about that. I don't even know I used to know how to work those. Do you remember the Sprint Treo phones? Do you remember those? Do you not remember that phone? God, I remember the first time. Do you remember the Treo? Man, you had a little stylus. You'd go on there. Do you remember the BlackBerry?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remember the BlackBerry?
That was the generic version? Or?
Yeah. I mean, think about what the BlackBerry.
With a little tiny pen.
Think about what you could do on a BlackBerry. What could you do on a BlackBerry now on these new iPhones? Think about that.
I think you'll be virtual open houses.
All that stuff is coming. Hey, Jamie Stillman, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're exactly right. Think about where it came. 1980, you had to call somebody on a landline. I guess they probably at one time didn't even have voicemail.
Right.
Then they finally got voicemail, okay?
And caller ID.
Caller ID came along.
That was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And second line.
Do you remember back when you would call and you'd get a busy signal?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
When you had to plug into the internet.
Then they finally got call waiting, okay? Three-way calling, call block, all these things. People constantly invent ways to disrupt the current.
Now you have people joining your FaceTime live show. We just have to learn how to do that.
I think now you can FaceTime other people. Where is this going to be in 5 years? What we know today, well, it won't matter in 5 years. Or 20% of what we know today, it won't matter in 5 years. Am I saying that right? 20% of what you know today will be irrelevant in 5 years. Think about that. You work so hard to accumulate knowledge for today, and then it's gone. Derek Godwin, where have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a month, best friend. I'm missing you. Do you have anything else? Swifty, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I do not.
How old are you really? I'm 50. Michelle, I am 44 years old. 44 working. I'd like you to come by here and hang out with us and work from our office. Derek Godwin. See, Derek Godwin's only like 32, 33 years old. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what those days were like. Michelle, you never did answer. Have you ever seen Urban Cowboy? Urban Cowboy is a show you should all go back and watch and just really laugh and make fun at the way they were back in those days.
What are you watching this on Netflix or?
Well, you gotta think about that. Now you can go into your TV and go back and watch whatever you want to. I remember the day the only way you found out what was coming on TV was a TV guide. Do you remember TV guides?
I do.
Yeah.
Now you can go in there and you can see things. You can go to guide and you can hit. Think about how much the world has changed, evolved over the last 25 to 30 years. Here's the point of the show. In 5 years, 20% of the information you know today will no longer be valid. It won't be needed. It won't even matter. That is, I mean, that's crazy. So if the fact is, in 5 years, 20% of what you know today is wrong or gone, what does that tell you? Well, if you want to stay up to date, if you want to be on the cutting edge, you got to constantly increase what you know. You've got to constantly learn. You know, some people, they went to high school, then maybe they did some college. Some people graduated, some people went on. But do you know how many people have not read a book since their public education career ended? Cousin Charlie, how many books have you read since you were 25 years old?
Not many.
Can you count on two hands?
Well, I listen to books now.
Oh.
I've started listening.
Okay.
Podcast.
Now,
Okay. That's
I'm
evolving.
It's 8:46.
We've been going 16 minutes.
Coach Rocky.
But I'm not a big
Coach Rocky?
reader. I'm a listener.
Are you?
I would listen to
How
audiobooks.
often are you listening to books? You know, the average person reads, I think, one book a year. That's the average person. Do you know what the average Fortune 500 CEO, how many books a year he reads?
About a book a week.
Yeah.
It's 60. It's like five books a month.
Maybe
That's
we need
insane.
a book club, a Good Time Tommy book club.
Well, what now I know why these CEOs have got to do that. They've got to stay current. They got to stay relevant. So whenever you're taking advice from your parents, sometimes, a lot of times, they're going to give you advice based off what they used to know. Hey, we got the weatherman. Hey,
The guy that makes all this fun.
weatherman. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me something good.
Man,
Tell me something
In life, you
good.
have to be kind to people and treat people with wonderful amount of respect. Try to make them smile, make them happy, and
Weather-
you'll always be able to get business from them.
Weatherman, we've been talking about this.
That's for wisdom.
Oh, okay. Hey, Derek Godwin just said there's my best friend.
Oh.
Derek Godwin.
Oh,
Who's your best friend?
Oh, me. I'm
Nah.
the best friend. Yes, he's.
Why do you feel like
Because
you're?
we're funny guys. We kind of it's like a Saturday Night Live duo. I mean,
Do you think?
you're not as funny
You're the
as
Hans
me.
and Franz.
Do you think Derek? Who's funnier, you or Derek Godwin?
I like Derek's got potential. He's got potential.
Derek says
We
you're
ain't-
taking
hey,
over.
He ain't seen me in my elements yet. We ain't got to hang out.
Well, if you come to Michael Burke's New Year's Eve party, you could do that. You would wear your little
We're gonna
mask.
come. If they're, well, they can't make it. We already talked, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there. Hey, wow.
Hey, I
Oh,
was-
Jim wants to be on the show. Jim has
Jim.
a car for sale.
Hey, Jim Dibble. Jim Dibble, I shared
Merry Christmas.
your hat.
Sipping. There you go.
How did you get that?
Some friends of mine, Angie and Paul Jordan, are starting up this little business.
Oh, sipping?
Yeah, and they asked me to. I bought one and took a photo for them and sent it back to them.
I've seen that shared. I thought, man, this guy's becoming famous right in front of my very eyes. Have you seen the movie Urban Cowboy?
I have.
Is it a classic?
It is.
Do you remember what life was like 1980 and before?
That was the good life.
Think about how much things have changed. I was just telling these youngsters in here, whatever they are, Xers or whatever y'all are,
Generation X.
just Generation X, how life has changed so much. So, Jimmy, here's my point. 20% of what you know today will become irrelevant in 5 years.
Absolutely.
Did you know that, weatherman?
Hey, I agree with you.
All right, kids.
I gotta
Hey,
go back
we're
to my
signing off. We'll be back
I gotta go
home.
back to my contract.
We'll be back over here tomorrow morning at 8:30. The point of this show is we just want to be in a good mood. We just want to get happy.
Make
And
somebody
this
smile.
all we want to do is, hey, as I always tell people, I want to make somebody smile. All right, guys, have a
Especially
great
make
day.
real estate.
See you soon.